Wild thing, I think I love you. But I want to know for sure. Come on, let's dance all night. Wild thing, I think I love you. Wild thing, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Wild thing. Hi friends, I'm so glad you're here with me today. Welcome to Mr. Stanley at Home. We're here in my studio, my workroom, the place that I like to make things, and I like to sing and make music, and I like to teach here. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a Wild Thing costume. But first, I want to tell you a story. I started today with the song Wild Thing, written by Chip Taylor and made popular by the Troggs. Isn't that a funny name, Troggs? It sounds like frogs. The Troggs made that song popular a long time ago. So today I want to tell you a story about wild things. This story is called Where the Wild Things Are. And it was written by Maurice Sendak. Maurice Sendak is the author. He wrote this story. And this is how it goes. The night, Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, I'll eat you up. So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew and grew and grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. And a private boat sailed by for Max, and he sailed in and out of days and nights, and over a week, and almost through a year, to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, the wild things roared their terrible roars, and they gnashed their terrible teeth, and they rolled their terrible eyes, and they showed their terrible claws. And Max said, be still. And he tamed the wild things with the magic trick of staring, looking into all of their yellow eyes without blinking, closing his eyes once. And the wild things were frightened of him, and they called him the most wild thing of all. And they made him king of all the wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. A rumpus is a party. Wild thing, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Wild thing, I want to know for sure. Wild thing, I think I love you. Come on, let's dance all night. I love you. Wild thing. Now stop, cried Max, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely, and he wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then, from far across the world, he smelled good things to eat. Can you smell it? I smell pizza, popcorn, chocolate. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so. But Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars, roar, and they gnashed their terrible teeth, and they rolled their terrible eyes, and they showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. bye. And he sailed off almost over a year and through a week and in and out of a day, back to his own room, where his supper was still waiting for him. And it was still hot. And that's the story, Where the Wild Things Are, written by Maurice Sendak. He's the author. He wrote the story. He's also the illustrator. If you ever get a chance to read the book, it's a wonderful book with beautiful, fun illustrations. So we listened to the story of Where the Wild Things Are. Now I'm going to show you how to make a wild thing costume. And this is a costume you can make out of things you find around your home. It's easy cheesy. So, to make a wild thing costume, you need a paper grocery bag. You need maybe some ribbon or string. You need different kinds of paper. I have some paper that I took out of magazines. Papers out of magazines. I have some magazines here. You can also use just plain white paper or tissue paper or paper towels or toilet paper. I also have some wrapping paper here. I like this wrapping paper because it has two different sides, so you can kind of use both sides. But wrapping paper is also a good thing to have. I also have some glue sticks. I have markers and crowns. And I'm also going to be using some tape today. I have my special rainbow tape, but you can use any kind of tape. Some strong tape would be good. Excuse me. My pens are dropping everywhere. So, to get started, you're going to need to use your paper, either your wrapping paper or pages from magazines or tissue paper, paper towels, some kind of paper. And you're going to cut about 4-inch squares. A square is a shape that has 4 sides. Each side is the same, and it has 4 corners. And those sides are straight lines. So you're going to cut squares out that are about 4 inches square. And you maybe need about 12 to 16 of these. And you're going to start by taking your glue stick, twist it up, and you're going to take your paper, turn it over backwards, draw a line of glue, and don't be afraid to use a lot of glue. Push hard. Then you're going to start at the bottom. I want to cover this handle. So I'm going to start on the side, and just lay that there. And then I'm going to get another piece of paper. I'm going to get a different piece of paper now. I'm going to get a different kind of paper. And the same thing on the back. Do a nice hard line. And glue that right next to the other one. Put it right next to it. So that you're covering that handle on the bag. You can tear the handle off too if you want to. I kind of like to just cover it. And then you're going to get another piece of paper. Here's a piece of paper I pulled off of a magazine. And you're going to, again, lots of glue. Put it over. And now you're going to, that one needs more glue because it's a heavy piece of paper. Put it there. I need to hold it a little bit. And now you're going to start layering the pieces of paper. So I'm going to go to get another piece of paper, put some glue on the back. And I'm going to go over this one now a little bit. Kind of like making feathers. And I'm going to get another piece of, oh, let me see. Let's kind of first, uh-oh, that's okay. If it falls off, I'm going to put another piece of paper there. That piece was kind of heavy, so I'll put a lighter piece there. That piece is kind of heavy. That was the cover. I can put some glue on my bag too to help it stay. Lots of glue. And if it falls off, you can just glue more on. I'm going to use a piece of a magazine here. Lots of glue. I'm going to keep layering, going over the next layer, kind of leaving a little space, kind of making it look like feathers. I'm going to take this paper that's two-sided now, and I'm going to use the other side. So I'm going to Use a lot of glue, hard, put it right above there. And when you get, you're going to want to also flip up the fold. The fold should be on the front of your bag. And kind of go under the fold a little bit. I'm going to just tape this over this other one. And continue on this one. So you're finished putting all of your feathers, your 4-inch squares on the front of your Wild Thing costume. Just going to put tape so it doesn't fall down, because I already had one fall down accident. And now we're going to put teeth on your Wild Thing costume. So I used pages from a magazine, and I cut out some triangle shapes. A triangle has 1, 2, 3 straight sides. It has 1, 2, 3 corners. That's called a triangle. And I cut out some white triangles to use for teeth. And I'm going to fold this bag up. I'm going to fold the flap up. And twist my glue up some more. Fold that flap up, and on the top of the flap, I'm going to go across in a line. Lots of glue again. And I'm going to put these triangles so they're facing up. Up. These are going to be the teeth. So when it closes, your Wild Thing will have an awesome teethy smile. Remember in the story, they gnashed their terrible teeth. Arr, 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 arr. So your Wild Thing costume can gnash its terrible teeth. Maybe put a little more here for that tooth. Okay. And when you close it, you got some teeth. Oh, I got a blue teeth. That's okay. That one's a little kind of probably dirty. He didn't brush his teeth. So now we have teeth. I'm going to put a nose on my Wild Thing. I'm just going to use a square shape, a rectangle shape. I just cut this out of a magazine. I found a color I liked. I like purple. I cut it out. And it's a rectangle. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. 2 sides are long, 2 sides are short, and it has 4 corners. And all the sides are straight. That's a rectangle. It looks like a door, or it looks like a window. It's kind of teeny, huh? Door, window. So I'm going to use my glue again. Put a lot of glue on the back of that. And, oh good. Just going to put that here kind of near the bottom. And out of another piece of magazine paper, I cut out some little circles to put for nostrils. This is what he's going to breathe through. So I'm just going to put some circles on. And I got lucky. I found some circles that kind of had stars. I thought they'd be kind of fun. So I'll put those there. Now I want to give my Wild Thing some eyes. And when you make eyes, the eyes are going to be round. And I just use the top of a cup to trace on my paper and then cut it out. Make sure you get a grown-up to help you with your cutting, to use the scissors. Your grown-up can show you, or they can supervise you. They can do it for you also. But make sure you have your grown-ups help. Before you even start making your costume, I should have said that at the beginning, right? So make sure you get your grown-ups permission before you get your paper and your glue and your scissors and your string, your ribbon. Make sure you get your grown-ups permission before you get everything, right? We always get our grown-ups permission before we start working on a project. So to make the eyes, I just traced on a piece of magazine paper the top of this cup to get a nice round eye. And I'm going to take my glue stick again, twist it up some more, put a lot of glue on the back. Go all the way around the perimeter, the outside of the shape. I'm just going to glue it up here. Nice big eye, right? And I have my other eye. Same thing. Another circle that I cut out. Lots of glue. Go around the perimeter, the outside of the shape. Put that on. So I have 2 eyes. Added 2 eyes. Now I'm going to do the inside of the eye, and I'm going to give them yellow. Remember the story, they had big yellow eyes that Max stared at? So I'm going to do a big yellow kind of circle in the middle of each of my circles here. And just use your marker. You can also use a crayon. You can also cut out yellow paper if you have it. You can use your imagination. See what you can find to put a yellow center in the middle of your eyes. And I'm going to use my black marker to put the pupil in the middle. The pupil is a little black dot. And it's fun to make the eyes kind of put the pupil in different places. So your wild thing can be looking different ways. So I added some pupils with the marker. The last thing we're going to do is add some horns to our wild thing costume. And then we'll put the string on it. So I have to take this one off again. Let's see if I can do it. I might have to take them both off. Let's see if I can do this carefully. So now you're going to turn your wild thing over. And I took a cardboard tube, my favorite cardboard tubes, and I cut it in half to make some kind of triangle shaped horns. And I use my marker to color them. And now I'm just going to glue them on with some glue. So I turn my wild thing over, and up here in the corner, I'm going to put a whole lot of glue. Oh, I need to twist my glue again. Twist it. Put a lot of glue. Lots of glue. I'm going to put that horn there. And now here's where you might need some tape, because these horns are a little tricky. So I'm going to get some of my magical rainbow unicorn tape. And I'm just going to tape this down here to help it stay on. So that should be okay. Good. And on the other side, I'll put my other horn. So again, I'm going to put a lot of glue, lots of glue. Lay my other horn. I want to put the purple side down. See the purple side, it's going to go down so you can see it when you turn it over. Just hold that there. Get another piece of my rainbow tape. Turn it over. And just put that on there to hold that horn in place. I need to fold over a little. So now I've added horns to my wild thing. It's almost done. The last thing we need to do is add some string to it so you can wear it. So I'm going to get a long piece of ribbon, and I'm going to cut that ribbon. You'll need to use scissors. I was able to tear this piece. And I suggest tying a knot in the end. Have your grown-up help you tie a knot. Tie a knot in the other end. Tie a knot in the other end. And you're going to need your tape again. So you're going to turn your wild thing over. Get a piece of tape. And you're going to take one side of your string, and over the knot, put your tape. Over the knot, put some tape. And probably also under the knot, put some tape. So my knot's right here. I'm going to put some tape under the knot and over the knot. Under the knot and over the knot. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Put some tape under the knot and over the knot. So I get the other side of my, oh, my horn's coming off. Uh-oh. Might need to tape this horn down some more. I'm going to use this tape to tape this horn down. And then I'll tape the other knot on. Okay, so we're going to tape the other knot on. Tape a piece of tape above the knot. A piece of tape below the knot. Yeah. Take my string here, my ribbon, piece of tape above the knot, piece of tape below the knot. This is tricky. Oh, my tape kind of went in on itself, so I need another piece of tape. I made a mistake. You make a mistake, you go, oh well, and you learn from that and you keep moving on. I got a different piece of tape, and I'm going to put that piece over under the bottom knot. And when you're done, you put it over your head, and you have a wonderful, fun Wild Thing costume that you can wear. And you can act out the Where the Wild Things Are story the same way Mr. Stanley did. So friends, today we listened to the song Wild Things, written by Chip Taylor and the Troggs, the song Wild Thing, written by Chip Taylor and performed by the Troggs. We listened to the story Where the Wild Things Are, written by Maurice Sendak. And we learned how to make a wonderful, fun Wild Thing costume. If you make a Wild Thing costume, make sure you take a picture of it and send it to me. I can't wait to see your wonderful Wild Things costumes and you wearing them proudly. Remember to ask your grown-ups for permission to get your scissors, to get all your supplies, your different kinds of paper, your markers, your crayons. And have fun making your Wild Thing costume. It's supposed to be fun. And a little messy too. So have fun being a Wild Thing. Thank you for joining me today for Mr. Stanley at Home. And I'll see you next time.